Good morning and good evening everybody, and a very happy 2nd of December to all of you. I'm Michael and this is Nordic RC Visions. If you've just tuned in today, this is basically the place, a nice tiny cozy little place where I can talk about some hobbies and get to practice my broken and spoken English. Here in December we'll be building the Porsche Turbo RSR Type 934 Jägermeister. It's the 40th anniversary edition, released in 2016 from Tamiya. Before we return to the build, I just wanna talk about a few other things. So I brought a couple of extra boogies with me here today. I'll just clear the table and grab my computer. The response to my new little cozy channel has been absolutely overwhelming. I had planned to do a shout out to all new subscribers. I was thinking 10, 20, 30 maybe. But with over 100 subscribers in the last 12 hours, it's absolutely not possible. It would get extremely boring and very impersonal. So I thought I would celebrate my 100 plus subscribers day with something else. This is actually my main channel, Nordic RC Visions. As you can see, we have the mighty bull here 4 years ago, October 2014. It's right here, I talked about that yesterday. And as we scroll along, we will probably get to a celebration of my 100th subscribers. 60 videos, I think, and almost 2 years. So this is a kind of encouragement to all who are thinking about starting a new channel. If you're thinking about getting 100 plus subscribers in less than a day, you have to be extremely more talented than me, or just work hard. Now, another thing is that 2 months after I published my first video, I had a son. So there's plenty of gaps between these videos, which YouTube really doesn't like. If you want to succeed on YouTube, you have to be consistent. At least one video a week, I would probably say. But this channel is not about getting successful. This is just about hanging out with you friends and subscribers. I'll press this one. This is my Nordic RC Visions 100 plus subscribers. Thank you. And just read what I wrote on the 16th of August 2016. Actually the same year that the Porsche Turbo RSR was released. I wrote, and again I apologize my English, you can go back and read it yourself on my other channel. So far so good. With this video I would like to thank you very much for watching, subscribing, liking, commenting, and in general supporting my small home-based hobby channel. It is greatly appreciated. Now, I added a little to all of my videos here later, but I go on 2 years ago. This video number 60 features footage of every video in my channel so far, and then some. It all started out very spontaneously almost 2 years ago, editing and uploading a good deal of footage that at the time of filming was only meant for my eyes. Since then it has slowly and firmly grown into an integrated part of my fascination for the radio-controlled hobby. it will never overshadow my love for running and working on my models with no cameras, but I do enjoy the challenge of filming and editing too. I certainly do enjoy being a tiny part of the worldwide RC community, communicating with you all, watching your videos and gaining friends close by as well as far away, with the same passion for this great hobby. A very big thank you to you all. Hope you will enjoy this video, and I hope you will stay tuned for future videos. I will make as many as time, work and family allows. Now, I couldn't agree more with this, and what I just read was quite fitting for 2016, and it's quite fitting for today's video. So thank you very much for tuning in. I hope we can spend a lot of hours together here on my new channel, Nordic RC Visions. Something else that I can see here is actually a video about building the Tamiya Rising Fighter. This was my first build. I'll just talk about a little about these cars, get them lined up. As I said, in 2016, this project of filming my RCs and editing and uploading will never overshadow my love for running and working on the cars while no cameras are present. I think maybe right now I have to rethink that, because hanging out with you friends and RC family has actually been an integrated part of my hobby more than anything else. So I don't see much of a difference right now. So the hobby for me is about the actual cars and the running and all that, but it's definitely also hanging out with you here on YouTube. And this channel is a very good example for that. I talked about this yesterday. This was my first Tamiya in 2014. Still almost stock, an entry-level monster truck. This I also talked about yesterday. Was my first RC in the 1980s. A little Wild Willie made by Tamiya. I have a couple of videos there. It's quite special operating vehicle if you want to check them out in my other channel. But I just brought it out here again. I think the Wild Willie is from 83, so this is probably from 84 or 85. Now, before I go on, if this video is already long enough for you, you can always switch to my other channel, Nordic RC Visions, where I make a little more up-tempo videos and a little shorter videos than these videos. So it's actually the purpose of this channel is not to hurry along, but you can skip along in this video or go visit some other videos if it's getting long enough already. Now, the story of my RC history isn't really exciting, but well, it isn't really more exciting than anybody else's RC history. For me, I think every RC history, how we got started, is interesting. So I thought I would share my history here. Hope to see your history on your channel or in the comment section. Some of you may recognize this buggy. This was my second RC in 1986. It's not completely the same unit. I think the tires and some shocks are the original ones I had as a child in the 1980s. But it's a working, full functional edition of the Nico Turbo Panther, along with the Tamiya Jet Hopper, or the Tyco Turbo Hopper as it's called in the States. this is probably the first RC of many. It's a toy grade, but it's a spin-off model of the same suspension system that you can find in all the Tamiya Grasshoppers and Hornets. I learned that in the last few years. I talked about the Rising Fighter. This is my upgraded Rising Fighter and my first build on my own and on my other channel. I also did a very long upgrade video series about this. It has changed a lot. The original is blue and doesn't include a lot of the hub-ups on this. But the main reason for getting this as the first Tamiya kit ever was, as you can see, the resemblance of the setup. It also has the rigid rolling rear axle and the swing arms and everything else that you would expect from this type of vehicle. It was a very easy build to do, maybe 3, 4, 5 hours, even as a complete beginner, a newbie. So I definitely recommend the hoppers, the Grasshoppers and Hornets as someone's first build. Very easy and yeah, comprehensible. I didn't run this very much because it had this malfunctional system behind this that all these Hornets has been famous for. The Grasshopper 2 also includes it. Here I got an Ampro engineering transmission brace that actually stops all the clanking noise. I'll just grab one of my other hoppers. If you do not know what I'm referring to, this is my Super Hornet, and we got the rigid rolling rear axle here, where on throttle this whole rear axle would actually jam itself up here, making it a very stiff ride. Now that has been changed on my Rising Fighter. It's very dirty still from the last run on Nordic RC Visions, the Tamiya Tuesday series. So this was just a short break from the build that actually hasn't started yet, but a little extra for this video. So that was a little background story of my RC history, how I got started, my first Tamiya, my first RC, my first boogie, and my first build. This is actually going to be my first touring car or rally car build. Not my first one, but my first build. And ironically, for a build video series, I just got a text message from my son and his mother that they will be home early from a trip to Copenhagen, a family trip. So as I said in my 2016 100 subscribers video, I will do as much as possible and as much as time and work and especially family allows. So since they will be home in a very short while, ironically for a build video series, I will probably not get to build anything today. I will probably do some building tonight, which I can upload on the December the 3rd and 4th. But for this video, if it's gonna be out before, it's not not the 2nd of December, I will probably not get anything built. But we can start and have a look at some of the first steps. So we got the typical Tamiya manual from 2016, the 84431 model limited edition, and we got the typical introductions to the build here. So I thought I would bring you a little closer to the exciting action shots of today's video. Now this is very typical Tamiya. We got all the tools explained needed for the build here. We got the color parts. We're gonna need an orange PS7, a smoke PS31. I'm still unsure whether I will smoke the windows of the car, and the Tamiya plastic paints, the TS12 and TS29. This also includes an overview of all the electronics needed. You're gonna need an electronic speed controller and a receiver, a servo, a radio, and of course a battery and a charger. This kit only includes the 27-turn brushed silver can motor, which I probably won't be using anyway. But take care of when building these kits. Notice what you get in the kit. Normally you get an ESC and a motor, but you still have to acquire the radio, the servo, the battery charger, and a battery for operating the vehicle. Some of you hardcore Tamiya enthusiasts might be quite excited about these classic Tamiya drawings, and of course they are warning against using the same frequency as others, because Tamiya probably think we are all using 27 Hz AM receivers and transmitters still, and don't drive it in the car and everything else. If we turn, we have a lot of other options. We got a mechanical speed controller warning. We got the recharge correctly, which is actually becoming more and more important in these LiPo days. We got the do's and don'ts here. Don't build it yourself if you're under 14 years of age. Take care of your eyes, be careful. And we got another view of the electronics needed. Now, as I said, I can't do any shout outs to all 100 plus subscribers in one video, but I will definitely do a few shout outs here and there when it is appropriate. Some of you in this RC family might recognize this as the Mark Bryan RC stick type transmitter. He is probably one of the few people here on YouTube still using these old 27 Hz megahertz transmitters with the stick type. I'll put a link to Mark Bryan RC right here in the corner. Hope you will check his channel out. He's got a lot of great build videos and a lot of great running videos, and he's got a lot of expertise surrounding this radio controlled hobby. I certainly learned a lot watching his videos. So that's gonna be the end of today. Sorry about this build series where we are currently heading towards day 3 and we have absolutely nothing built yet, but we'll get there eventually. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow.